Welcome back to Cliffieland. This is week 11 on our occasional US A to Z series where we're cooking a dish for every state, territory, district, and commonwealth in the entire US of A. And finally, we're up to my native and home state of Florida. Florida, the 4th most populous and 26th largest state in the Union. Trying to pin down what is the food of Florida is complicated. In most parts, it's going to be indistinguishable from that of its southern neighbors, Georgia and Alabama. And that would include one of my personal favorites growing up, which is catfish fritters. Unfortunately, we're not going to be cooking that tonight. With miles of coastline and the Everglades natural wetlands, there are going to be a host of different fish dishes. Also, the dish that tends to stand out when it comes to Florida is key lime pie, a native of Key West. Unfortunately, though, since we are not doing desserts here, that won't be on the menu either. But the thing that makes Florida food particularly complicated is that in the megalopolis that is Central and South Florida, you're going to find people that hail from just about every state in the Union, not to mention all of Latin America and the Caribbean and elsewhere. So finding one particular lunch or dinner dish for Florida is pretty tricky. But we did find one, and that one ironically is most associated with a completely different country. And that is the Cuban sandwich. Déjame explicar, or let me explain. The Cuban sandwich may have its origins in a ham and cheese mixto, which is an actual sandwich eaten in Cuba. What we know here as a Cuban sandwich had its origins in the late 1800s and early 1900s when Cuban workers working in cigar factories and sugar mills in Key West and Tampa needed lunch, and somebody in one of those areas created what we now know as the pressed Cuban sandwich. Later in the 20th century, as Cuban emigres came to South Florida, it became more associated with Miami. There are a number of different varietals to the Cuban sandwich, one of my personal favorites being the medianoche, which is made with egg bread instead of Cuban bread. However, tonight we're going to be making a pretty standard Cuban sandwich. And let's look at what goes into it. So for our Cuban sandwiches, we'll need 2 rolls of Cuban bread. If you want to make a medianoche, then you'd use sweet bread rolls. A 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of prepared mustard, 1/2 pound of cooked ham, 1/2 pound of thinly sliced, fully cooked pork. Additionally, we have marinated ours in sour orange juice for a couple hours. 1/2 pound of sliced Swiss cheese, about 1/2 cup of dill pickle slices, and 2 tablespoons of butter. In our case, the clarified butter we made for Eritrea 2 weeks ago. This is going to be good. Let's get cooking. First, slice the rolls in half. Onto each half of the rolls, spread mayonnaise. Making sure to coat the bread from edge to edge. Heat a cast iron skillet over medium heat. Place the bread slices mayo side down on the skillet. Toast until the underside is crispy, about 2 minutes. Spread mustard on each half roll. Place half of the cheese on each sandwich. Place half of the ham on each sandwich. Place half of the pork on each sandwich. Place half of the pickle slices on each sandwich. Place the tops on the sandwiches. Spread oil or clarified butter on a grill or grill pan. Heat the grill or grill pan to medium heat. Place the sandwiches on the grill. Press the still warm skillet down over the sandwiches and grill for 2 to 3 minutes. Remove the sandwiches to a cutting board. Place 2 toothpicks in each sandwich. Slice the sandwiches diagonally. Plate the sandwiches. Optionally, dress with plantain chips. Wipe plates and serve. ¿Cómo fue eso? How'd that all go? In a word, it was spectacular. Now, I've had plenty of Cuban sandwiches in my day, but this one seems to have beat them all. Maybe it's because I made it myself, but it was amazing. We loved it. There was just so much food that each of us could only finish half of it. Good thing we had leftovers. So, yay, try it out. I'm gonna give the Cuban sandwich for Florida 5 out of 5 globes. Yay, Florida! I'm really glad that came out okay. I really hope I did my home state proud. So that does it for Florida. Remember, if you'd like to see our international streams live when they happen every Tuesday night, be sure to follow us on Periscope or Busker or Facebook Live. Like and subscribe to be advised when these videos are posted. And if you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food of Florida or of any of our future states, territories, or countries, be sure to sound off in the comments. Remember, links to the original recipes can be found in the About section. And tune in next time when we head right over the border to have the food of Georgia. The state, not the country. The country's coming in the international streams in a few weeks. So till then, thanks for watching and happy eating!